Well, okay, this is a new vibe. Okay, I guess we're having a party in Marvel Rivals now. Last time I logged in to look at this, there was like fucking vampires all over. Like, I guess Dracula's dead now. I guess Moon Knight got his money. Okay, I guess we're having a party on. Where the hell is this? I don't know if this is Wakanda or is it like Groot's homeworld? Is that... No, that's not, because, no, Ego the Living Planet is not... That's definitely something, though. Is that the villain of the piece? Oh, is that... No, I don't actually know who that is. I don't think I know. Okay, well, I guess we're celebrating because we killed Dracula, is what happens in Marvel Rivals. That's not really what I'm here for, though. Oh, they put Logan in a suit? And Loki in a... Yeah, see, now this is why I'm here. Oh, Ultron. Oh, it was Ultron's face. Probably. Maybe. I guess he's gonna show up at some point. Okay. No, we're here because of... We're here because of her. We're here because of Miss Emma Frost. Because she's new. She's been added to the game. And I thought maybe let's have a look at her. Let's have a look and see. And specifically, one of the things I was curious about was the relationship between the character design of Emma Frost, Invisible Woman, and Cloak and Dagger. Because certainly, on initial inspection, it does look a little bit like a copy-paste job in some ways. Because we have 3 blonde women, all of them wearing white with a blue accent color. And like, she's even kind of posing like Sue. So I was on my initial look at Emma Frost, I was like, oh, that's an Invisible Woman costume. Oh, no, wait, that's a different character. Oh, that's a different character. That's what's it supposed to be. Huh. All right, then. And then I remembered, like, Dagger as well. And I was a little bit like, okay, this feels a little bit like we're just kind of repeating things. But maybe not so much, actually. I'm just gonna watch that again. Okay, so what I'm trying to figure out is look at her thigh down in this area of the screen. You see the jiggle? I'm trying to figure out if that's jiggle physics, because I don't actually think it is. I don't think it's jiggle physics, because like jiggle physics, if I remember right, are usually like a physics engine that's like acting out like a sort of calculated like behaviors based on a mathematical input, right? Like you tell it jiggle this thing with so much force and it has this much elasticity and it has this much like energy dissipation or whatever, and then the jiggle physics, like the physics engine will jiggle the thing until like its mathematical calculations are out, but there's not like something that it's handmade by an animator. Looking at the way her thighs jiggle here, I don't think that that's actually jiggle physics. I think, or at least it's not entirely jiggle physics. Like, this looks more handcrafted than that to me. Like, this looks like an animator, like, was crafting that jiggle on purpose more than physics engine jiggle physics. Which would make sense, like, for an intro like this whole thing presumably is, like hand animated, right? But that makes me wonder if... Hang on. That makes me wonder if... Oh, there she is.
The White Queen always gets what she wants, at any cost.
Yeah, because... Okay, it's a little hard to see, but... Yeah, as far as I can tell... I mean, I can only look at her from behind. Wait, does my controller work with this? Yes! Yes, it does. Okay. Let me just... As far as I can tell... Yeah, there's not jiggle physics on her model. Like, her thighs don't do that jiggle when she's just moving in game. There doesn't seem to be any of that. And I can see why. Like, that's not really a necessary part of her animation, even if you wanted to do it. But that says to me that this is not, like, procedurally generated, like, jiggle physics. I don't see it.
Some uninvited guests.
I don't see it on her legs either when she lands from a jump. Yeah, no, so that's not jiggle physics, that's handcrafted animation. Maybe with some physics engine help in there somewhere, but it doesn't seem to be jiggle physics directly. Actually, hang on, can't I, if people told me in the comments that, like, I could... No, that's not the right button. I could spawn... So could I spawn, like, an Emma Frost, please? Could I have... Ooh, wait, hang on, actually, could I... Is it... Oh, it's just one. Okay, you can't... I would... Because I would have liked to have Dagger and Emma and Invisible Woman all next to each other. That would be really convenient for comparison, but... Okay, you don't... I can't get you to move or something, can I? No. Maybe if I attack you. How the hell do you do that?
Some uninvited guests.
I don't know that was an attack. Ah, there's an attack. Okay. That's just kind of making her wobble her chest at me, but I guess it's something. What happens if I kill you?
You were beneath me.
Well. Yeah, no, that's not very... Okay, that's a jump pad. That just jumps. Okay. Not very helpful, but maybe I can... Oh. Well, shit. Okay. Is that... Do they just... Oh, okay. So when they make the character transparent for the camera, they drop the level of detail on them pretty drastically and, like, disable translucency effects and shit. Which, like, that makes sense from a performance perspective, I guess, but I was hoping I could get a really nice close-up of her face, but I kind of fucking can't, like... Is there... Hang on. Is there some kind of first-person view toggle?
Look who's here.
Forward, back, left, ascend, descends. Primary, second, male, second, that's, UI? Change hero? Chronovision. Oh, no, that's whatever that is. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Toggle UI? I don't think that will... No, that won't really do anything. Useful for capturing footage, I suppose. Communication? Spectating, I guess. Player, POV, no. Bird's eye... Can I enter spectator mode? Somehow? I would like to be able to enter spectator mode. Is there a way to do that? I don't suppose there is.
Ah, look who's here.
Okay, well, that's inconvenient. Darn. Okay, I was kind of hoping because I could get, like, properly close up with, like, some details. Okay, guess not. But since I've got it, she has... Yes, okay, yeah, because she has a walk animation. On the keyboard, I can only make her run. So, oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, okay. All right, sure. I mean, yeah, that's what you would expect from a walk animation from her. How much gradation do you have on that? Oh, there is actually... Like, like, they layer animation over... And then, like, a hasty walk. and then that transitions... That's very smooth. That transitions, like, very smoothly from walk to... Yeah, it's right about there that she transitions into, like, the really fast leg pump, and then that transitions smoothly into, like, the longer stride and the more heavy... That's a really smooth walk animation, actually.
Some uninvited guests.
I'm sure. But... Yeah, no, they're doing it on okay, so, like, obviously they're doing it on purpose, but that's a lot of hip sway on that walk cycle. Makes sense. Like, makes sense for what they're clearly doing with the character, but... Okay, interesting. All right, I guess this is not as useful as I was hoping it would be. Let's go back to the screen. So, okay. I don't actually think that there's that much same-face syndrome going on here. I think more than same-face syndrome, it's same-color scheme syndrome is the issue here. Because... like, Dagger is white and blue, Invisible Woman is white and blue, and now Emma Frost is white and blue. And the thing about that slightly confuses me is, like, again, I am not Mr. Comics guy. I have not read X-Men in a hell of a long time. Like, but the costume that I remember for Emma Frost never had blue in it, to my memory. Like, I don't... Again, like, well, what am I saying? She's probably had a blue costume at some point. And a black one, and a red one, and a green one, and, like, fucking whatever. It's comics. Characters dress however the fuck, depending on the editorial direction at the time. But I just don't remember this kind of, like, ice blue being a particularly prominent part of her color scheme ever. Like, Emma's most iconic outfit, as far as I know, is sheer white. Like, completely sheer white from top to bottom. And doesn't really rely on accent colors. Like sort of the whole point of her old classic costume, anyway, was that there is no accent color, right? Like, that there is no secondary color, that there is just this one singular pure white, sort of expressing, like, the whole diamond theme with her, right? Like, that she is, like, this pure singular thing without complexity in that way. So it's a little confusing for me to see her wearing an outfit that's relying so heavily on a secondary color accent. I guess it feels a little bit like it's just because her name is Frost, right? It feels a little bit like it's just because her name is like Miss Ice Lady, that they sort of put blue in there just to sort of fit with the name theme. But then there's the Korean supermodel Lady Luna Snow, right? This one is an ice-themed hero, and she's doing, like, all kinds of stuff with, like, black and white and, like, more interesting, like, heterochromia. And, like, she's doing things with that, which, again, like, it's an odd overlap. I really don't understand why they gave her such a pronounced blue accent color, especially when it was already kind of, like, a little much with how much Dagger and Invisible Woman kind of are overlapping stylistically. I will say, like, Dagger definitely has a rounder profile to her face. Rounder and a bit younger looking, I feel. More rounded. And then Sue has a little bit more... Well, I mean, I don't know how the fuck to read Sue, honestly. Because, like, she's supposed to be the grown-up wife of, like, the Marvel thing, right? Like, she's supposed to be Reed's wife of, like, many years, and she's been, like, a professional astronaut, and she's been a superhero forever, and she's one of, like, the foremost and I've complained about this extensively already, but I don't know why she has this fucking pose. Like, this knock-kneed, insecure, uncertain, feet pointing inwards for some fucking reason. Like, she's some 16-year-old magical girl who's only just gotten her powers kind of vibe. I don't know why they're doing this with her, because it confuses the reading. Like, she reads so much younger then I think she's probably supposed to, because, like, she's supposed to be roughly Reed's age, right? This man who's fucking going gray with his mountain beard and, like, this weathered face with all the lines on it. And Sue is not supposed to be, like, 30 years younger than him, right? She's not an 18-year-old he picked up because he's having a midlife crisis. This is a grown-ass woman with a child. Do they have more than one? I think they have more than one, right? Because they have God, Franklin Richards, who's, I believe, more or less like infinite power, god of reality. And then also they have another Am I remembering this wrong? I feel like there's a thing about Doom and one of the a daughter, I think, where it's Doom collaborating with Reed Richards' daughter. Maybe he's not her daughter. She's not her daughter by Sue. I don't know. I think they have more than one kid, but like this is supposed to be like a 40, 50-something-year-old mom who's like had 2 children, right? The character design just doesn't say that, right? It says this is like a 22-year-old with very little life experience and certainly very little damage and like aging accrued from leading that life, and that annoys me. And it feels a little bit like, in some ways, I feel like they could swap that a little bit with Emma here, because like Emma looks like a grown-ass motherfucking woman, right? Like she looks like not old, but she looks like she has more years on her than Sue does. Which again, I don't know in canon how old Emma Frost is. She could be 1,000 years old for all I fucking know. She's an X-Man. It's been known to happen. But, like, this looks a lot more like a grown, mature-ass woman. Because, like, they're clearly going for the MILF thing, right? Let's address the elephant in the room. This is a very sexualized character. Clearly on purpose, and clearly, like, with a purpose, right? Like, this is probably, like, the... And the noises she makes also... like, it's... They're not being subtle. They're not being... They ain't being subtle about absolute shit. No. Hell... Not being subtle about it. I don't think anyone's surprised by it. They put jiggle on the thighs when she stomps. They know exactly what they're doing, right? No surprises here. It's just, when thinking about her in the context of Sue and like, Dagger... Again, I don't know how old Dagger is supposed to be here in canon either, but, like, Dagger here looks like she's supposed to be, like... Especially with how fucking skinny she is, Jesus Christ. She looks like she's supposed to be, like early 20s, maybe, right? Sue should technically be, like, in her 40s or something, right? But she looks like fucking 16 or something. Like, she looks so fucking young, and it's very annoying. It feels very incongruous with who the character's supposed to be. And then we get, like, Emma here looking like woman in her mid to late 30s, like, who's like, figured out what she wants and who's, like, going for it with perfect confidence. And I'm like... We couldn't have a little bit of that energy with Sue, who's, like, literally supposed to be that, but no, okay, fine, whatever. Like, we're not talking about Sue. But I have not taken my ADHD meds today. I don't know if you can tell. But I don't think they actually have same face, because Emma definitely has way, way stronger cheekbones than either of the 2 other blonde women in the game. Like, really strong cheekbones. Pretty powerful jaw, even, especially relative to Dagger, I feel. Yeah, because, like... My mouse just ran out of battery. Charging cable. Like... Dagger especially barely has cheekbones, right? Like, you can... They're sort of there, and you can see them in, like, the baked-in, like, shading texture. You can kind of see them. But they're barely there, and she has, like, a very pointed little chin there, right? Right, like, very rounded and sort of pointy. A little bit egg-like in shape. Then Sue has a little bit more definition to her face, right? Like, not a ton, but she has a little bit more definition to her face. And a slightly wider jaw. And then Emma sort of blows them both the hell out of the water by having, like, really powerful cheekbones and like really having like a jawline and a chin with some power to it. And I really like that. That's for the kind of character she's clearly supposed to be, which is like thick thigh diamond dommy mommy, right? Like for the kind of character she's clearly supposed to be in the context of Marvel Rivals, that works, right? Like that, having that higher definition, having those more striking, powerful features, that really works for this kind of a character. I really like that. And it also works with the diamond theming, right? Like Emma Frost is the diamond lady. She's the one, she can do the thing where she turns her skin into diamond. And like giving her really strong, striking, angular features, that works with that. Like that re-emphasizes that as like a central visual theme of her. I think her haircut is doing the same thing, right? Because you have these, like, it's not quite triangular, but you have these quite sharp angles on her hair and like this very sharp cutoff below it, which is another thing that like gives her some distance from like either Dagger or Sue. Is her haircut is notably quite different. Also different hair color, I think. Because, like, Dagger is more strawberry blonde, right? Like, this is like a redder aspect, a warmer aspect to it. And then Sue is more sort of natural, what's it called? Chestnut blonde? Something like that. Like, a little more sort of a natural, slightly browner, slightly more muted color. And then Emma is out here with, like, the full bright platinum. It's like there's some differences there as well. I will say I don't blame anyone. Like, when you're looking at them here, if someone looks at Emma Frost for the first time and goes, "Oh, that's a skin for Invisible Woman," and then they notice how much more fucking junk in the trunk Emma's packing, like, I wouldn't blame anyone for being confused. Because even if the facial features, even if the hairstyle, even if all of that is constructed quite differently between them, actually, and I do actually like that Dagger and Invisible Woman and Emma all have distinct eye shapes. I feel like they could maybe do a little bit more with their noses, quite frankly. Although Emma, like, hang on, let me. Oh, Emma has a good nose ridge. She doesn't have the, like, she doesn't quite have the sort of standard landing strip frozen nose. Sue has a little bit more of that. Yeah, they have distinct noses too. I do appreciate that. You wouldn't believe how rare it can be for women in like a video game just to have distinct shapes on their nose ridge. One of the most normal features on the human face, which is a nose ridge that isn't just like this same fucking aquiline landing strip ass nose. But how so many video game character designs just don't care about the nose as a component of the human face, and it frustrates me because it's really potent for giving a character personality. A powerful nose can give a lot of character to a face, and by consequence, having a very receded nose, a very, like, non-present nose that just isn't part of the character design. Look at me here, for example. That can do a lot. Like, you can do a lot in terms of communicating a character's personality and force of charisma just with that, along with a few other features. But yeah, I don't think there's same face syndrome here. I think it's more like same color scheme syndrome. Because the color scheme really does... That really genuinely confuses me a bit. Why would you add a whole bunch of blue accents to Emma when you already have Dagger, who I don't think should have blue accents? She should have golden accents, because she's the light character, not the fucking ice character, not the water character. She should have golden accents rather than blue ones, so I don't know why they're here. And like Sue, she has to have blue accents because she's Invisible Woman from the Fantastic Four, and blue is their most iconic color in the universe. Of course she has to have them, but Emma doesn't. Like, cause, hang on, let me find, yeah, no, because like the classic Emma Frost costume is like this one, right? Like, this is what I think of as the classic Emma Frost costume, is like this like cut top with the long cloak behind it, and like either hot pants or pants, or like she usually has some other detailing around it, but this is like the Emma Frost outfit, right? Like, it's pure white with very little else to sort of accent it. And so I do struggle a little bit to understand why they would add so much blue to her. That's a little bit weird to me. So she's highly sexualized, right? Like, this is clearly I wouldn't say it's pandering to the 3D porn community or whatever, but it's definitely like the character's appeal here is supposed to be sex appeal in large part, right? Like, it's a power fantasy also, and it's that specific power fantasy of like, I am the hottest, sexiest, most powerful, most cunty, most, like, center of attention bitch in this entire goddamn fucking room. I could crush literally anyone in here with a single flick of my finger. Everyone looks at me, everyone desires me, everyone wants me. Like, my sexuality is an expression of my charisma, my power, my potency as a person. It's a very common fantasy, right? Whether you find it empowering or you find it sort of demeaning from a male gaze perspective, that's for you to decide, but as a power fantasy, it's a common one. And it's not, like, this is not exclusively pandering to men, right? Like, there are also women who very much enjoy having that power fantasy of, like, occupying this particular kind of role. So, like, and, like, I have mixed feelings here, because on the one hand, I think that's cool. Like, I like it when character design is intentional about that. The thing I dislike is when characters are sexualized and it's just because of we couldn't think of anything else, right? Like, oh, it's because of the characters are supposed to be sexy, right? Right, where it's not, you're not using the sexualization to do anything or to say anything or to, like, express something about the character. It's just, well, the character needs to be sexy because that's appealing, right? Which is the same way I feel about like a lot of superhero, like the Punisher, right? Why is he this big? Why is he smuggling cantaloupes inside of all of his arms? Like, why is Frank Castle this fucking chunky? Why is he that? Like, why does he look like that? And the answer, from my perspective, seems to be, well, because shooty bang bang, Gears of War, gun bang bang. And therefore, Doom. Have you played Doom? With the game with the big... He has to be big because of... That's what they... the Doom guy is big. And also the Gears of War guy is big, so therefore our guy also has to be this exact same kind of big. Right? That's what that feels like to me. The fact that he's so ultra super mega hyper swole does not add anything to his character for me whatsoever. Like, I think this is downright distracting, quite frankly, because the idea of the Punisher is that he's a fucking weapons expert. He doesn't punch people in the face, he shoots them with guns, right? And in order to shoot people with a gun, you don't need to have muscles like this. That is not necessary. The Doomslayer is big and huge and muscly and chunky because he also rips demons apart with his bare fucking hands. That's why he's that big, right? Venom is this big because he's supposed in many ways to be an opposite to Spidey, right? Like, he's supposed to be a sort of caricature of what if Spider-Man only cared about power? What if Spider-Man only cared about aggression and violence? What if he gave up on using his powers responsibly? What would that look like? Well, that would look like a monster, right? This huge, hulking, chunky, fat-assed, just with the biggest cheeks. He's supposed to be a monstrous parody of, like, what Spider-Man would be if he became monstrous, right? That's what Venom is supposed to express. And then later on, it begins to express some things about his relationship to Eddie Brock and, like, things like that later down the line. But that's where that character design starts, right? Like, the fact that he's so huge and chunky and muscly, it has a narrative function in his relationship with Spider-Man. So the muscles are there for a reason. Here it's like, because of because of gun and shooty bang bang man from other video game also big, therefore our shooty bang bang video game man big. Because of that's why, right? Like, I dislike that. I hate it when it's ill-considered, when there isn't clear intentionality behind it. We talked about this with The Thing, right? That the way The Thing's physicality is constructed relative to the Hulk, right? The way that they, like, very intentionally have made him much wider, much more squat, much more, like, sort of compact, much more of a box relative to the Hulk being like this, like, tower of power brick shithouse kind of thing. There's intentionality there, like, to how you use the character's physicality to express something about their personhood, their personality. That's another thing that comes to mind when I, like, Wolverine, right? Think of Wolverine the way he looked in the movie Logan, right? Like which was supposed to be the fucking send-off for poor Hugh Jackman. It was supposed to be the final one where we say goodbye to him, and then they just bring him back. Where he's really wiry and skinny and like looks exhausted and old, right? Like, and his physicality, the fact that he's lost so much of his mass and his body weight, it says something about the way that his body is breaking down as he's aging, and his like regeneration factor can no longer keep him young, right? Like, there's an intentionality to that from a character design perspective. And there is here too as well. Like, Emma Frost looks this fucking sexy because that's what she's supposed to do. It's supposed to say something about who she is, how she relates to her power, how she like enacts her agency in the world, who she is, right? It does something. We'll come back to the costuming in a second, because I'm not sold on this costume at all. I will say, and that's another reason why I'm so annoyed with Sue's body being so nothing, right? Her posture being so incongruous with who she is. And she just has standard superhero body number 5, right? Like, this is standard superhero girl body number 6, right? It's a standard model. It's like, it's baseline just like, this is what athletic looks like. It doesn't. Like, this is an... Okay, fuck it. We're going... I guess I'm off on this rant now, and you are all coming with me, because I can't stop myself once I haven't had my ADHD meds today. Have I said that yet? I think maybe I've said that yet. But anyway. Let me show you something, which I've shown people before, which I'm going to show again. But which is very useful to see, especially when we talk about character design. All of these women are Olympic athletes. Every single one of them. And they are Olympic athletes in very different disciplines. Jessica Howard over here is rhythmic gymnastics. Relative to heptathlon, I don't even know what you do in that. Lashandra Nathan here. Relative to Cheryl Hayworth, who's a weightlifter and clearly an incredibly powerful one. Relative to the basketball player Lisa Leslie. And then figure skating Tara Lipinski. Look at the sheer amount of difference, even if we want to design a character who's brief, like where the point is we want to communicate this character is athletic, right? This character is in great shape. They are an Olympic level whatever, gymnast, athlete, whatever, right? Like they are an incredible hand-to-hand combat fighter, whatever it is. Even within that very narrow space of what a body can look like, Olympic level athlete can look like all of this, right? And even more, like we don't even have any fucking bodybuilders here. We don't have any shot putters or anything like that. Even this is like only a narrow sample of all of the different ways that a body can look when you perform various forms of like extremely high level athletics, right? So with Sue Storm, it's like, okay, she's supposed to be fit. She's supposed to be like in really good shape. She's supposed to be athletic, right? Because she's like the air elemental lady, right? Like she represents the element of air in the quadrangle of the Fantastic Four. Okay, but within that, why then choose this specific vision of athletic relative to, oh, why not look at figure skaters? Why not look at people who run marathons? Why not look at any of the many, many different kinds of bodies that are available for this particular kind of thing? Oh, here's some. There, I can't tell exactly, like, that's a boxer right there, right? And this, oh, she's a swimmer. I recognize her. I've seen her on the Olympic broadcast. That's some kind of bike adventure thing. Like, there are many different ways to have an athletic build, right? Like, to have an athletic body relative to the kind of activity you engage in. And that's one of the things in character design is, like, just the shape of a character's body. Just the way that their muscles, like, which muscles are powerful versus which muscles don't they use very much. It can say so much about who a character is. And the trouble with Sue is that this gives me nothing. Nothing. I know nothing about her. This doesn't say a goddamn thing. Because this is standard superhero girl body number 6. It's the same one as all of the other ones, right? It's so indistinct. Compare and contrast with Emma Frost, where the way that her body is shaped that tells me a lot about her character, right? Like, they shaped her body this way for a reason. They gave her these thick-ass thighs and this, like, hourglass-shaped thing for a reason, to communicate something about who she is as a character, who she is as a person. And I like that. And I will also say, like, I'm back on my... I ranted for ages about how much I don't like Sue Storm's basic pose, because it's so... It's so nothing. Emma's basic pose, on the other hand, like, there's a fucking character pose. There's a pose that tells you who a character is and what she's about. This is a, here I am, look at me. I'm the center of attention. I'm the coolest motherfucker in the room. You can stare all you want. Doesn't fucking matter. Like, the posture and the power and the confidence of this pose is like, fucking hell yeah. Like, I know who you are. I can tell something about who you are as a person, what your personality is, like, what you want, how you're, like, how I'm supposed to understand you on, like, a narrative or thematic level. If only all of that good stuff, right? Like this powerful facial anatomy. I think they could push the face like 2% harder, like just a little bit harder on the cheekbones and like the jawline. Maybe. But like this cool facial anatomy, these great posing, like this clearly intentional use of a very sexualized body type. All of that good stuff. And then that's her fucking costume? That's her fucking this is what she dresses like? Again, I'm not Mr. Fashion Guy either. I don't know haute couture. I don't watch the Paris fashion show every year. I occasionally see pictures from the Met Gala. I'm not an expert on this, but I don't know, man. This to me doesn't exactly scream like fancy gala outfit. This to me doesn't exactly scream high society, like power broker. This doesn't really say, like, the boots. She's wearing go-go boots with a huge blue X on them, decorated with, I guess they're supposed to be diamonds, but those look like fucking rhinestones. Like, this looks like it belongs to the Grand Ole Opry. Well, not at the Grand Ole Opry. They wouldn't accept heels that high. I don't know. I haven't watched anything from the Grand Ole Opry since the Dolly Parton days, but like, this looks like she's supposed to be like the sexy lady doing something like at a rodeo or something. This is very campy. This is very over the top and quite silly. And it doesn't get much better when, like, because then we have the boots with the big X's, and then we have like 4 miles of succulent thigh, and then we get up here and it's like, okay, so you have this spandex thing with this like high cut crotch thing, right? Like with like this, and this is like classic sort of hypersexualized superhero costume design, right? Like where you have the spandex with like the covering and the crotch that's cut really, really close, like that's really cutting up so that's showing the absolute maximum amount of leg without showing any vagina, right? That cut is there. Okay, I get that. Like, we're hypersexualizing the character because that's part of who the character is. I understand. But then why is she wearing these tiny little hot pants underneath then that? Like, why is she doing that then? I thought we wanted to hypersexualize her. I thought we wanted to say, hey, Emma Frost is a character for whom sexuality is an expression of her power. Being sexualized, like being the hottest piece of ass in the room, being beautiful, being attention-grabbing, being desirable. That's part of her power fantasy. So then why is she wearing the hot pants underneath this thing? Like, why are we pulling back all of a sudden and giving her something that's a little bit more covering and modest? That to me seems a little weirdly incongruous, because like I can go and get an X-Men comic, probably. I can go and get a comic somewhere from a fucking Marvel or DC, and there will be superhero ladies in there who wear costumes more provocative in their cut than this. So why are we pulling back on it now? Like, if you're gonna do this, then commit to it. I don't understand why the hot pants are there to sort of pull back and say, oh, no, we would never cut it that, like, we would never do that thing that superhero costumes often do. I don't understand that. I don't really get it. What I also don't get is, look at, like, what the fuck is this supposed to be as fashion? Right? Because this doesn't look like haute couture, right? This doesn't look like fancy fashion that was created specifically to like to be worn for a gala or a red carpet event and be really impractical but very visually striking. It doesn't look like that. This looks like a standard superhero combat suit, except she like cut off some bits of it and like crazy glued some fake diamonds onto it. Like, this doesn't look like fashion. It looks like a repurposed super suit, like superhero suit, except not very well and not in a particularly striking way. I don't know what the theme is here, what the costume is trying to express as a piece of design relative to... Oh, actually, hang on. This is great. Okay, I have the Emma Frost Marvel wiki open, and it turns out this is from the first Hellfire Gala. I don't know what that is in comics terms, but oh, hey, that's a fucking haute couture kind of fucking outfit. We've even got the X thing incorporated in there. And look at that, we have the fucking high cut, right? Like, we have the thing that's cutting really close into the hips, even. She's even doing that. This looks like that kind of, like, ridiculously impractical high fashion, like, that's supposed to be, like, really visually striking kind of thing. This looks like that. So why does this not look like that? Why does she have coattails on this thing that aren't even translucent? Like, if they were translucent, that would kind of make sense a little bit as, like, a diamond thing, but why does she have that? Like, what is this supposed to be as fashion? Again, not an expert in fashion, but this doesn't really give fashion for me. This is just a superhero battle suit with some weird things stapled onto it. Especially this pattern here along the side, right? Like, this looks like armor padding, right? This looks like it's supposed to be fucking... Those are fucking, like, ceramic armor plating, like, things like you put on a fucking tank kind of vibe. Like, this looks like padded armor thing. In fact, I think even that... Like, yeah, fucking Dagger has those right there. Like, these padded bits of her supersuit. So, but that... Why are they here on her high fashion costume, then? Also, they could have lowered... Like, again, if we're gonna sexualize this character, if we're gonna make this character the sexiest bitch in all of Marvel Rivals, like Queen Cunt of just, like, serving Mountain, right? Like, if we're gonna go for that, then cut the back lower. That's the classic thing with, like, a really sort of powerful, like, femme fatale evening gown sort of thing, is to have that really low-cut back and, like, really reveling, especially when the character's already built with such a fucking curve to her, right? She has these, like, 6-inch heels or whatever. She has this posture, like, goddamn, right? Holy shit, we want to show off that ass. Clearly part of the point of this character is to have the juiciest ass in the game. So surely, why not give it a deeper cut, like, that really goes low down the back, that really, like, teases, and that, like, really gives that thing. But no, instead we have the idea of a low cut back. It's oh yeah, we cut a little bit down over the shoulders. Ooh, you get to see clavicles. How scandalous. Right? Ooh, you can see a little bit of the fucking, whatever they're called, the muscle bits, like the bone bits on the back that attach your arms and your shoulders. You can see a little bit of that, but you can't actually... Like, is she supposed to be the horniest, most teasingest, sexiest character in the game or not? Right? Are we actually doing this, or are we pulling back? So I like a lot about this. I like that she's so fucking sexy. I like that she's so confident. I like that she's confrontational. I like that she's powerful. I like that she's owning the shit out of it. But this is supposed to be her power outfit. This is supposed to be her I am the queen of every room I walk into outfit. This tacky thing with all of this cheap looking sparkle crazy glued onto it rather than being incorporated into the design of the thing. This is supposed to be the outfit of Emma Frost. This, like, Like, there's a reason why this fucking look is iconic. I really don't, like, I understand why they didn't give her the cloak, right? Because that intrudes on Storm's territory. I get that. I get why they wouldn't give her the cloak, but, like, surely they could copy at least the structure of the classic outfit or something. Why the blue? Like, why add all of this blue accent? It's gaudy. It's too much. Like, it's overcomplicated in a way that feels insecure. Relative, like, that's the other thing. The fact that she has this single color scheme, just pure fucking white in her outfit, right? Like, you can see what that does for her, right? Like, you can see how much striking visual power that gives the character when all of the outfit just, like, has this single theme and it's laser focused on it. There's a purity to that, right? Like, there's a simplicity to it that says, yeah, no, this is what I am, like, fully and completely, with no apologies, like, no nuance, no nothing. This is, like, this is binary almost, right? Like, there's a power to that, whereas with all of this fucking ornamentation and all of these accent colors competing for attention, right? Crying out for you, like, no, like, notice me. It's distracting. It's visual noise in a way that I don't think works for what this character is trying to do. I really don't like this costume very much. The more I look at it, the less I like this costume. This looks gaudy. This looks tacky. This looks cheap. This looks like a Halloween costume. Like, this looks like she bought it from a fucking Halloween costume store. This does not look iconic. This doesn't look powerful. It doesn't even... And the other thing is, like, the boots are really camp, right? Like, this is sort of the kind of really over-the-top, sort of, like, cheesy throwback to, like, maybe sort of the 60s sensibility of, like, wild and weird superhero. I could get behind that if we were trying to be camp, right? If we were trying to be over-the-top, if we were trying to be a little bit much, if we were trying to be silly. But then the rest of the outfit is just not, again... The rest of the outfit is not silly enough to match that energy. This is just... It's just a superhero supersuit with some extra bits glued on. And some bits cut off. And that's... Yeah, that's not really good enough. That really... Like, yeah, no, I'm sorry. Like, again... I'm not a fashion expert. Maybe all of everything I'm saying here is a load of horse shit, and the people who do know fashion will disagree with me in the comments. And in fact, do that. If you know more about fashion than I do, which is a low bar, do disagree with me in the comments if you think, like, this outfit really does express, like, power and, like, singular vision and purity of purpose in the way that you would expect from someone like Emma Frost. Sound off. Like, let me know, because I'm curious to hear the counter-argument to what I'm saying. I'm just... This is so tacky. This feels like it's trying way the fuck too hard to be shiny and sparkly and it's unconfident even. Yeah, no, shit, I don't really like this. I don't like this outfit. I like all of the physical aspects of the character design. I like the animation. I like that we're so confidently going exactly for, like, this is the fucking kind of character that this is. But the costume, man. But she has other costumes, right? Surely. Oh, that's even worse. Well, no, actually, no. No, I rescind that comment. That's actually better, because now, with these fucking, like... With this dark color, against which the blue can be, like, really bright, now we have the campiness. Now we get a little bit of that. Like, now this looks a little bit cartoony. Now this looks a little bit more silly, in a way that actually kind of feels a bit more cohesive. That actually works a little better, in no small part because, like, here we have the contrast, right? We have the white with the high cut, and then we have the fucking hot pants underneath it. It's like she's doing a fucking Superman suit in reverse, where she's wearing, like, yeah. But here, because they share the same color, you don't see that weird thing where, like, oh, we do the high cut to really tease, but then, oh no, we pull back. No, now it's just more cohesive. That's actually better. That's actually a better... It's a Storm situation all over again, with the alternate color scheme is just kind of better. And then we have... I'm sorry, I think I blacked out there for a second. Holy shit. Then we oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I'll say, Jesus. Okay, goddamn. Oh, that. Well, there we fucking go. There's the sexualization. Holy shit. But then I guess for this one we couldn't give her a deeper cleavage. We couldn't give her more of like an exposed back. But this is fine? Okay, because I thought maybe the reason why this is relatively pulled back, right? Like, this is relatively conservative, right? Why it's not really as sexualized as you would think it might be, is because, oh, okay, censorship rules, right? Like, they have to be restrained, they have to hold back a little bit because it needs to be T for teen, and some countries or some territories, they would probably react against this, but no, that's not a problem, actually. Apparently, that's fine. No, don't worry about that. You can actually show as much skin as you want, basically. Jesus Christ. No, that's not a problem. Good Lord. God damn. I mean, it's pandering to me. I'm curious about that, though. You see those ridges? On her breasts, of all places. It almost looks like... Is that like a holdover from the model where there was like a part of it that was sculpted, and then when they removed the bits... Is that just from, like, is that a remnant of, like, these diamond bits that, like, just sculpted into the model and stayed there? What an odd thing. Like, especially sitting... I'm gonna get fucking demonetized for this fucking video. Especially sitting on her breasts, which, like, where the... Okay, interesting. Anyway, I keep getting distracted here for some reason. God damn. Let me just... Okay, let's... Costume design. I mean, this is, again... Where this feels like it's lacking a little bit of that camp. This feels like it is... Like, here we fucking have the fucking rhinestones, right? Like, here we're, like, very explicitly leaning into... Almost kind of a disco diva sort of vibe with, like, the glitter and the way all this is pop star a little bit like a fucking like Lady Gaga might have worn something like this for a concert vibe, like really striking. And then the hair is like, because that's almost has a little bit of that like the way that it's very curled and like very controlled. It has almost a little bit of like a sort of, I want to say a 1960s energy to it, a little bit. The way that it's like so tightly curled and controlled. But again, not a fashion expert. I mean, this is fucking like, clearly none of that's the point of the costume. This is the point, like, the costume knows what it's about. Damn! God damn. Like, that's a fucking tease right there. That's how you tease. That's how you, like... That's how you fucking do that. I don't know the context of it. I don't know why she looked like that in Uncanny X-Men 2013 #1. It does look like a, like... It does look like a costume in the sense of, like, this is something you would wear to some kind of party, right? Like, this doesn't look like the hero suit that she would wear to go into battle with, I don't know, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants or whatever. It looks a little bit too poised and a little bit too, like... a little bit too over the top for that. Like, it doesn't really look like a battle suit. It looks more like something she might wear, like, to, I don't know, seduce Cyclops or something, which I think they did at one point. There was a thing at some point, wasn't there, where Emma Frost and Cyclops were, like, banging, in a sort of vain attempt to make him, poor Cyclops, more interesting for a second. I don't know that. I don't know that that's why they did it. Okay, like, the main point of this costume is clearly just to be even more, like, sexually provocative and, like, but with a pure black theme rather than a white theme. And, like, from that perspective, again, it works. This really does look very kind of a little bit Elton John, almost, in how camp all of this rhinestone-esque arrangement and all this glitter and all of this, like, stark high contrast black and white is. But then you have the front of it here, and that's much more like this was on MTV in, like, 2009 kind of deal. Which in some ways I don't really know how to parse this except as just, god damn, except just as, whew, good lord, that's a lot of woman. Boy howdy. Oh. Oh, okay. I see we know what we're about here. I was wondering why she was so far away. Again, I don't think that's jiggle physics on the titties there. I think that's hand keyed. I think someone did that by hand. With one hand. I don't know that. Literally choke me, mommy. Okay, that's what we're doing here. I can't say it doesn't work like that. Again, I like how much she's owning it, right? Like how much this is, we're doing this on purpose. We're doing this specifically for Emma because this is a part of who she is as a character. I have no idea what the context for that is. I don't know why she has a clock. Yeah, I can't really parse that. There seems to be... It's doing some kind of storytelling about timing, something. I don't know what it is. It must... I'm sure there's a context to it. Which I guess would make it make sense, but I don't know enough about the comics to know what that context is. Yeah, again with the clock. I don't know what that means. It's just the posing they do on this model. Like the emoting that they do. Right? Like the way they fucking curl the hip around this. Yeah. I like the theatricality of it. I like the intentionality. I like that she's clearly being over the top on purpose, right? Like, this is clearly her, like, this is not a naturalistic gesture, and she knows it. She is playing this up on purpose kind of vibe that I get from the animation here. Again, works for the character, like, works for what the character seems to be trying to do. Yeah, I do feel like, I don't think there's same-face syndrome, as I said, between Dagger in Sue Storm and Emma here. I do think they could have pushed the facial anatomy just ever so slightly harder. Like, you could do it with makeup. You could do it with just a bit of baked-in lighting or something. Like a little bit more shadow under the cheekbones. You could have pushed it just like 2% harder. And I think it would be... I think it'd be more visually striking. The main thing is just... Why add blue to her? Why not just give her sheer white? right? Maybe there's some reasons for that. Maybe it's about in-game readability. Maybe having that secondary color on her makes it easier to identify her in the heat of combat or something like that. Who knows? There might be some kind of technical reason for it. It does confuse me why we have, like, blonde woman with a white and blue color scheme and blonde woman with a white and blue color scheme and blonde woman with a white and blue color scheme all in a row. That seems like something that it should be reasonably easy to avoid. And there isn't another character in the game that has, well, I guess Moon Knight technically does have a pure white color scheme, kind of, except he accents that with tons of black because he's like a night sky hero. He's the moon in the night sky. So I don't know why they couldn't just either have picked a different color for her, or maybe they should just have fucking made Dagger gold instead of blue. I don't understand that. I don't really know why they would invite this. Like, why would they invite this criticism that they look too similar? Because that's what you're doing when you're giving them all the exact same fucking color scheme. I don't really get that. But, like, no, yeah, like, yeah. I guess that's the conclusion, is, like, I like pretty much everything about Emma Frost except her costume just looks cheaper and more tacky and less dignified to me with every second that I look at it. I think Emma would dress better than this. She has dressed better than this. Why not just use something like that? Like, I really don't know where this costume, especially the fucking boots, the giant blue X with the fucking diamond rhinestone thing around it is... Like... I do not understand that very much. I really don't. But oh well, I guess that's my Emma Frost reaction. And also, 9 to 15 other things that I decided to yell about while I was at it. And oh my god, this took over an hour for one character. Okay then. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to do any self-promotion right now. I'm just going to let you go. Bye.